So we're here at the Netroots Nation Conference 2017, and you're with Emily's List. Can you tell me your name and a little bit about what you do?
Sure. I work with Emily's List, which is the political action committee dedicated to electing more pro-choice Democratic women. And we are here at Netroots to actually train women on how to run for office. And we had a full room of women, almost 100 women that came to the training today.
Well, I was wondering because I've been seeing online that you guys are reporting that you've had records number of women stepping forward to run for office. Could you talk a little bit more about what you're seeing?
Sure. Well, what we're seeing is an incredible wave of women that are interested in running for office. Since the day after Election Day in 2016, we have received over almost 17,000 women have actually reached out to us saying they want to run.
Wow.
They want to run. Now compare that to last cycle, and we're talking about the 2016 cycle, which is 2 years. We had 920 women in total.
Oh my God.
So the interest is incredible, and we feel that this is a pivotal moment for women in the United States, and we feel that women have the opportunity, and sort of it is the moment to change the face of politics for years to come.
Can you talk a little bit more about why you think women are so much more motivated right now?
Right.
I mean, lots of assumptions can be made, but...
Right. Well, I think that the results of the election really shook women, not just because Donald Trump won, but also because Hillary Clinton lost. I think it's a combination of seeing a government and an administration and a Congress that's really pushing an anti-woman agenda, and we see that every day instead of the policies that they're pursuing and the policies that they're promoting. But also I think for women, the sense that the Hillary Clinton, a candidate that was so qualified, that had been fighting for the issues that many of us care about, lost in the way that she did. So I think that for women, it's sort of a realization that maybe we have not come as far as we thought, and that we really need to be at the table because these decisions are being made and our voices are not there. So that is, again, I think it was sort of like a wake-up moment for women, and I am excited of what that means for us.
Well, kind of like having all men make decisions about women's health care. That's it's just beyond words.
Right. And, you know, and at Emily's List, we always say, if you're not at the table, you're going to be at in the menu. And I think that's actually what we're seeing, that we're not there. I mean, the healthcare bill was an example. The healthcare bill that Republicans pushed, which was all white men, were part of sort of that conversation. And it's important to remind women that we need to be there at these tables, defending our priorities, focusing on what matters and what's benefiting actually our families and communities. And that's why we're excited about the 16,000 women. And the other thing that we're excited about, that in the rooms where we are at now, we're seeing a lot of diversity in our among our participants, as well as younger women, which is obviously huge.
Well, and I think women tend to care or be more concerned about families and communities because of their children. Not that men don't care about their children, but I think women tend to have that real passion for, you know, taking care of their families and the people that they love, and not just their own personal, but hopefully everyone's. You know, that's a mark of a good leader, someone who cares about everyone's family.
Right. Yeah, I think that what we also say at Emily's List is that we support women not just because they're women, but because we know that we're going to have better policies when women are at the table, because they bring a different lens to the policies that we're talking about. They have the impact. They know the impact that some policies have on families, on kids, on their own lives, and they bring that to the table. And also their style of leadership is different. It's more inclusive. It's more about compromise and figuring out what's sort of the best for the parties that are at the table. So it is important to realize that at the end of the day, we want women who are going to fight for the policies that benefit most of us, and that is why we think that women need to be at the table.
There was one year congressionally when was a higher number of women, and women across, it was bipartisan women, passed more bills about families and communities than the male-dominated Congresses had for like decades. And it was bipartisan. It was both, you know, both parties, women from both parties working together across party lines to create legislation that benefited families and communities. And I thought that was really, really important and really exciting and striking, you know.
Right. No, and it's true. And we can even see it on the healthcare debate right now that the reason that the bill that the Republicans are advancing did not pass through is because two of the Republican senators were women actually voted against, and there were 2 out of 3 votes that actually took that bill down. So it
And
does
that took
make
a lot
a
of
difference.
courage for those women.
It did, and they actually were strong opponents of that bill. So that is really great. But I agree with you that I think that when women are part of the conversations, they just have a different approach, and they understand the real impact that policies have on our daily lives. And that is why, at Emily's List, we are expanding so we can sort of take this wave. We're tripling our staff at the state and local level. And because we also know that it's not just about the training. We are doing the training because that's important, but we're also doing the recruitment. And we're also targeting districts where we know that our women have a chance. And we really hope that we're just not only building the pipeline, but also identifying the races where we can help women win.
Can you just talk, just real briefly, just give like a little bit of an overview about, what's involved in running? I mean, I think it's intimidating to a lot of people. It seems sort of mysterious and magical. And
Right.
what kinds of things are you sharing with women? Just
Right, sure. So I think the first thing that we tell women is that the most important requirement to run for office is that you have a passion and commitment for your community. That's the only requirement. Everything else can be learned. And one of the things that we're doing in these trainings is actually giving women the basics so they can get ready to run. And that includes everything on what does it mean to have a campaign team, what are the positions that you need in your campaign team. We talk a lot about talking about your personal message and telling your audience who you are and why you're running. We also do a really great overview about fundraising because that's actually an issue that many times prevents women from running. So we talk about what that means and how do you do it effectively and what are the things that you need to do to run for office. We also talk about building your army because none of us can do this alone. We're going to need help, and we need to start building those armies and those relationships early on. And we also need to we also need to make those connections early on so that when we decide to step up and step into the ring, we also have the support of our broader community. And frankly, we also have conversations about what keeps women from running. So we talk about, the concerns about family life, the concerns about fundraising, the concerns of really not being part of sort of the establishment. And I think just sort of being in this community of women that are supportive of each other really helps and put those questions out there.
Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. I hope that can be empowering for women.
Great, thank you. And everybody go to emilyslist.org and connect with us.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.